Okay, what an American thinks about Macedonia. I rode my bike into Skopje, the capital of Macedonia, from Pristina, the capital of Kosovo, in one day. It was only 89 kilometers. And Skopje is right on the north part. I got a flat on my way in, but then I changed tires, and then I kind of walked my bike over these tire people who filled it up really hard for free. They're cool. And then I rode into town, and I got this party, this hostel. It was a hostel called, like really close to the center, like 5-minute bike ride from the center, called Art Hostel. And it was actually easy to find because they had all these signs. I originally wanted to go to like Hostel for some reason because I thought it was the cheapest one, but then I went to Hostel. It was not cheap. The girl charged me like €10, and she was really hot too, and really like pretty, and like really like laughing all the time, man. She laughed all the time. She's everything. She like laugh. And then I noticed other Macedonians do that too. So Macedonians is like a country where they laugh. They say something and then they laugh. Like in Serbia, I forgot to say, like when they talk, it sounds like they're like yelling and stuff. But like I guess Macedonians can sometimes talk like that too. But like, yeah, they talk and then laugh. Like, and they're really friendly too. Like really like happy to have a tourist there, and to help you out and smiling at you, and like really, they're really friendly people. And it was a really cheap place, and it seemed, like safe, and Skopje is pretty. They have this big river going through the middle of it, and then the pedestrian mall that goes. I was there for a few days of the festival. They were all day, and they had like street performance and like musicians and stuff from like 11 o'clock in the morning until like 12 o'clock at night. And the hostel I stayed at was a really fun hostel. It was like a party hostel, It was like the atmosphere, they had a big like common room and a common balcony you can hang out, and there's like all these travelers just hanging out there, and you can do the internet in there and in your room too. But they seem like they're really trusting too, because I go there and I'm like, yeah, like, is there a locker? No locker. If you want to you give your stuff to me and I can lock it up. No locker in the room. And I was like, well, how about the key to the room? No key to the room, to the dorm room. No key, no locker. And I'm like, okay, well, is there a place I can lock my bike? And I meant, because people always offer me to put in a special room. But I kind of meant, like, is there a place you recommend me locking? She's like, what? Place to put your bike? Don't even worry about locking your bike, man. I have a nice mountain bike out there that I don't even lock it up. And I looked at it, and it was like a nice, full suspension specialized mountain bike. And it wasn't locked up, although the other one's next to it. I guess the other girl who worked there or whatever did lock it, but they only locked like the wheel to the frame. And they did have the gate you have to buzz to get in, but yeah, I think they had like that overnight too, so it's pretty well. I was there, and I just left my stuff out there, and they're really like laid back. Like they didn't have like cleaners like every day at 10 they go and clean the whole place. Like they just kind of left it like that. I guess maybe they clean it like when there's nobody there. Like really laid back, dude. And then they had like, and like breakfast was like really laid back too. It was like, instead of like setting out breakfast and then taking all the stuff away at a certain time, they kind of like just leave it in the fridge and be like, yeah, have your breakfast whenever you want, man. It's right there, But they did set it up, but it was in the fridge, and you just eat breakfast like all day, And then this woman came and like would cook this big pot of like soup every other day. So they were giving you dinner too. And the girl who was there, the second girl who was there, I guess third girl was there, or second, gave me a whole bunch of music too. She gave me I gave her an 8 GB card, and she like spent like a half hour like filling up with all these like bands that she was like recommending to me and like I was like asking for. I gave her a bunch of like music and like audio stuff too. But yeah, the girls who worked there, like younger girls, they could speak really good English. And one girl brought her friends over. I guess one guy could speak English. Yeah, they could speak English. Yeah, so I think Macedonians speak pretty good English. They have this big cross on this big hill, maybe like 900 feet up on the western side of the city, that I didn't go up, but I read in the book or the pamphlet or whatever, or in Wikipedia actually, that it's the biggest cross in the world. And some of the people staying in the hostel actually went up there. They took like a taxi or whatever and then hiked down, but there's a lift that goes up the cross, and then you can walk on the on the crosses, on the T part of the crosses, out and over and look at Skopje. Skopje isn't all that big. It does kind of look, poor as you go through, like from, because like the, potholes and, like the streets of the, pedestrian mall is kind of run down. But yeah, they have like the new pedestrian mall, just a few blocks long, and then across the river, you have this like cool venue for, the outdoor performance. Then you cross the river on this bridge that was made like 600 years ago, and then they have this big fortress on the top of a hill that's just like the walls left, and you don't pay to go in because it's just kind of like ruins. It's kind of like left there. But at the base of that, there's like the old town. They have this old like pedestrian mall there, but it's like old cobblestones. Haven't been fixed for a long time, like potholes and kind of run down. I guess they're just like, whatever, it's old, it's there, just leave it, and it was like really narrow, but they weren't really selling stuff there. It wasn't like stuff was open. But yeah, like the fruit there was really good. I got peaches and strawberries and olives. They were just delicious. Like from now on, I'm in this area, I'm gonna get olives when I go out the place because they're delicious, juicy, and everything. Yeah, and then like today I rode out of Macedonia, and I rode, and that's one person for directions. They're really friendly, like telling me and speaking English, so I think they speak pretty good English in Macedonia. I feel like the people I talk to speak English. I think they speak better English than anybody else I've seen in this parts. Since like hell, probably even better than the Austrians. Probably about as good at English as the Swiss or something. But yeah. So like the thing about Macedonians, yeah, they laugh. They do. They laugh a lot. And it's cheap. It's cheap place. Yeah, and there were lots of hostels there too. Like 2 doors down, there's another hostel, and there's another one like down the road. So I guess it's kind of a touristy place. Like Elton John was gonna play there, I think. Or no, I saw Elton John like on tour, like at other parts. Billy Idol was gonna be there in a couple weeks, and then like the day before I got there, Bob Dylan played there, and yeah, so. I guess I read on Wikipedia that they had this really big earthquake which like destroyed the whole city. And I saw this one like museum that kind of had this like part like it was fell down and stuff. But so maybe that's why it kind of was like a little bit run down, because I did see some like construction stuff going on. But yeah, Macedonia. It's hilly. I went over and crossed the border today. I went up this huge climb from like Skopje is like 500 feet, and I went all the way up to like 4,280 feet, and then I went down like this riverbed, and then back up to this like town, which is really pretty on the side of these mountains. It's like, quaint old town. Kind of felt like you're in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty. These guys like wanted to help me out, and they were like, "Follow me, we'll go that way," and they were like trying to get me to go there. Here from this other road, I was like, "What? No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go the more direct way." And then I left and got stamped out, and yeah, border guard was really nice. And then I went into Albania. So anyways, that's what an American thinks about Macedonia.